This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Jayco Greyhawk Model 30Z motorhome. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk you through some of the features. This is not a sales video or a floor plan video. It just shows you some of the features and how they work. This is an LP quick connect here, just in case you want to you know, you want to put a grill or griddle or something, you can quick connect it right there. Compartment with your low point drains in it. You've got a power awning with an LED strip. Okay. This is just a service panel for your refrigerator, just for service. This is your water heater. The controls for it are on the inside of the trailer, but I just want to show you this is where it drains from right here. See, there's the cap there. So when you want to drain it, that's where you're going to do it. Just make sure it's cooled down and it's not still hot. Alright, this is where you fill your propane. So the propane, the guy at the filling station is going to put his connection right on there. And this is a bleeder valve here. The thing you really need to know is this is how you turn the propane to the system on and off if you need to. Right now it's on. So if you need to shut it off, that's where you do it. Okay. Outside speakers. Now this vent up here, if you can see at the bottom, there are two latches. You have to stand on something, of course, but if you're going to use the range hood vent inside the trailer, the one that's over the range obviously, if you're going to use the fan to vent to the outside, you need to push up on those two latches so the baffle in there will flap freely. Otherwise it won't vent to the outside, it'll just, you know. So anytime you're venting, you want that open. Otherwise, when you're traveling or storage, you keep it shut. Okay. So our guys will go over the chassis part of the motorhome with you when you pick up, as well as everything else. I just want to show you that this is your generator right here, and obviously the exhaust right there. Now you can open that. You can see there's a green cover on there. You can take your green cover off and operate it from there. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be operated from the inside of the trailer, which I'll show you, okay? You have a slide room here. There's a 30 amp system, so there's your 30 amp cord. Okay. Outside shower. When you hook up your city water, you're going to just hook it right on there, and you're all set. Now, if you want to set different configurations for the water, you can see up here there's valves, 2 valves, and then down here you have the different positions to put them in, to do what you want. For normal city fixture, city water is right there. If you want to fill the tank using city water, you would go to position 1 and 6, okay? So on and so forth, okay? Very simple. This is your dump hose right here, and this is a reducer to reduce your 30 amp down to a 15/20 if you need to. You can also pull this up. I don't know why. Just more storage under there. I haven't looked under there yet. Okay, so these are your valves. You got your gray valve for your gray tank, which is sink and shower water, and then your black for the black tank, which is toilet water and waste. You always dump the black first and then dump the gray. The gray is just cleaner water than the black, obviously, so it'll help to wash out the hose. Then you bring up the hose from your dump station, and you'll put it right on here and then turn it on. It says on the sticker, of course, make sure that the black valve is open first, so you always make sure the back valve is open. So after you determine it's open, you can turn the water on, and it'll flush out the inside of your black tank, clean off the sensors, just give it a general washing out, which is really a good thing to do. If the dump station you're at has a usable hose, I mean nobody's recently run over it or anything, definitely do that, okay? That's just, I think I mentioned, that's an outside shower. Okay, so you have a slide room back here with a slide topper on it. As you can see right there. This is a backup camera right here. Okay. So let's go inside. Now before we go inside, I guess I should tell you that the manufacturer states you have to check the seals and the roof every 90 days. So somebody needs to go up there, either you or somebody else, however you do it, just whoever does it needs to be very careful, of course. And you're going to check all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get into. Make sure that there's no damage to the vent covers or the roofing material, but you know, by low branches and road debris flying up there, things like that. Just give it a good inspection. If you see an issue, take care of it immediately. That's very important. People generally don't inspect their roof enough. Generally. You got 2 house batteries under here, wired together as 12 volt. Okay. You can turn, this is your coach power, your house battery power. These 2 are house batteries here. Obviously there's a chassis battery under the hood. This is for your power awning. Okay. Never leave the awning out unattended. Always bring it in when we're not using it. Lights. You can turn your power step on and off. You can leave it on or out all the time if you want. That way, whether you're opening or closing the door, it doesn't affect it. Normally when you close the door, it retracts the step. But you can change that so it stays out if you need to. Okay? Alright, I'm just looking here. So we'll go up here first. It's kind of hard to see the way they've... with this black. But anyway, this is the generator, right? So basically you push the stop to prime it. You hold it till it lights up. There you go, so it's primed. You just start it right there. Okay, so now the inverter is right here. So basically this inverts power. It can turn 12 volt DC into 110 AC. That's called inversion. So it takes 12 volts from your batteries, and basically not all the plugs in here will be inverted, but you'll have some plugs. Probably this one right here. It usually says it right on it, but I don't see it. But nevertheless, you'll be able to plug in an appliance, a hairdryer, or a coffee maker or something in an emergency if you just got 12 volt battery power. That's all. So that's inversion. Now there's also conversion that this has, which is the opposite. It goes from AC to DC power. I'll just walk back here for a second and show you. So this is the converter here, and this converter takes 110 AC power, and it's got regular circuit breakers in there, and they're all labeled. Then on this smaller side, it converts it to 12 volt DC. It has automotive type fuses in there. Okay, so this trailer does both. It inverts. That means it goes from 12 volt DC to 110 AC, and it converts going the other way from AC to DC. Okay? Alright. Hopefully I explained that okay for you. I usually don't. No, I give it my best, so. Okay, now, let's see here. Back to this panel. So, you have your side slide room here, your rear slide room there. You can turn on your tank heaters here. So this has an extended camping season. You can turn on the tank heaters, and it has like heating pads on the tanks, and plus a wrap around parts of the plumbing also. So you can extend your camping season. Your water pump on and off here. So you would use the water pump. Let's say you pumped water into your fresh water tank because you're going to a campground that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite, right? So if you do that, you would turn on after you get to the campsite, you turn on the water pump here, like that, and you can pump the water. All the faucets and everything, all the plumbing will work just like you've got city water, even if you don't. So okay, and then these two are for your water heater. This is to light it on gas, right? And this also has an electric heating element, which is the most common way to use it actually. So that's how you turn your electric heating element on. Never run that without water in the tank. Always check and make sure you got the tank filled, because if you don't, that heating element can get damaged in a minute or so. It happens very quickly. So, okay. And last but not least, your monitor. Your battery's charged, fresh water's empty, black water's empty, gray water's empty. Obviously, it graduates up in 1/3 increments as it fills. They light up. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping your gray in your black tank. Okay. All right. So, coming down this way. Okay. This is let me just get it going here for you first. I can barely read it, but this basically gives you everything you need to know about the power. I'll try to get my glasses up here. Hold on. So everything you need to know, you know, solar, you're gaining 0, well, I guess it's hard for me. Hold on one second, please. Okay, so right now this is at centigrade. You can change this to Fahrenheit if you want. You've got your batteries listed here, your solar listed here. So it just basically gives you all the information on the electricity in your camper. So it gives you you know, you can see the battery percentage in the battery, how many amp hours you have stored, that sort of thing. So okay. This is the leveling system. Now this one, I'm sure you have to have the emergency brake on in order to operate it. So you'll have to look into that. Talk to the people when they show you through this also, because I'm not sure on this particular one. Sometimes you have to turn the ignition on also. It depends on the unit. But anyway, you just turn it on right here. Let me try that again. You turn it on right here. Oh, that's right. So I can't do that because the emergency brake is not on. It's been overridden, so you can't use it. The idea is you don't want it to actually accidentally come down when you're moving, or you don't want to accidentally drive away with the jacks up, right? So I'll just explain it to you this way. The most common thing to do is you push auto level. So basically you push auto level and it will level your motorhome. Then when you retract, obviously you push the retract button and it changes to retract mode. This little red LED will light up here, and then you just return them to that position. Now you could also, or to the up position, but you can also do all the jacks independently. You see you have the different jacks here. So if you were to be able to read this, because if it was lit up right now, you would scroll through it, pushing these buttons, and then select it from the enter there. But basically you would select manual mode, right? So when you're in manual mode, you can push retract if you want to, and then you can bring the front up and down, or in the case if you're retracting, it'll retract it. You click off retract and obviously it goes the other direction. So you could operate it all manually from there also. Okay. Now this device down here is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green. It detects carbon monoxide buildup, LP gas, and also if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your batteries are low. So it's a low battery alert. I'll just set it off so you can hear it. LP gas is good. Carbon monoxide coming up. Good. And then of course the low battery alarm. And then back to green. Now if you get real close here, I can't see it very well, but if you get real close here, it'll give you a description of what's flashing and what that means. Not that you need to know that, all you have to do is hear the alarm obviously. But make sure you don't ignore it, that's the main thing. Or don't never unplug it or do anything like that to it, okay? Alright. So I've just got limited time here. So basically your microwave works like any other microwave. It's got a vent on it, and that vent's to the outside. You remember I showed you the baffle on that vent that you have to open up. To light these, you're just going to go to light, and then you're going to spark it by turning this clockwise. So you got 3 burners, 3 knobs, obviously, and then the last burner, or the last knob over here is for your oven. I'm going to see if, let me try this right here. Sometimes you can see it sparking. Yeah, you can see it there. Okay, so what you do to light the oven, there's a pilot light back there where you saw the spark. So you go to the picture of the flame, and then you depress it and keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. You start sparking this by turning it clockwise until you see the pilot light back there light. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. You go to operating temperature. It cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? Alright. Refrigerator is very simple. This is a gas absorption refrigerator, meaning it can run on 110 AC, regular current, or on LP gas. So you turn it on here, and it gives you mode. Right now this mode is A with a power cord, so that means automatic electricity. That's the most common way to run it. The reason is when you're plugged into the campsite, it'll seek out AC power and it'll use it, right? If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas for you, right? A better way to look at it is if you, let's say you're leaving for the day to go adventuring and it's a super hot day, you know, an hour after you leave in the morning, you have a power failure at the campground. Well, normally your food would just, all your ice and your frozen stuff would melt, and you know the story. But if you have it in auto electric, it'll sense that and automatically let on gas for you. So you have that option. You can also go to just electricity, right? Just gas. But the best way to go is auto electric, okay? And of course the temperature's up all the way. You're almost always going to have it up all the way. If it starts getting cold out, you might have to back it off a bit, but generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way. Okay? All right, simple enough. Fireplace, there's a remote for this. I don't see it right now, but it's in one of the drawers. But your fireplace is also a space heater, right? So this is on and off right here. You do get a remote with this, on and off. The next one is a timer, right? So this is flashing H. H is the fan speed. So let me do it this way. So this one actually is the intensity of the fire, okay? Should we get the right button? There you go. So H is for high speed, off, and low speed, back to high. So that's the fan speed. So basically, well, there's several common. The thing is, this runs on 110 AC, so you can take the chill out of this area without wasting your limited supply or using your limited supply of LP, right? You could also, this has a timer also, so you could set it to turn on, you know, 15 minutes before you get up out of bed in the morning, and that way the chill will be gone from this living area, and you're not using up your limited supply of LP too. So it has a lot of good features. Okay, so your TV works like any other TV. Okay, this apparently is to hook up a disc player or a game machine or whatever you use. Keep in mind the sound system is up front there, and that controls. You know, it has Bluetooth. It has you can stream off USB. It has all the common features that you would expect. You also can see your backup camera from there. All kinds of things. Okay, they'll explain that to you when they show you through the trailer. Okay. All I have is just a little under a half hour to get this done, and I got to try and touch on everything, even though I'm sure I inadvertently missed stuff. But there's another slide out button. There's one up front, but there's also a second one for the slide. Now this just tells you how many amps are coming in. Right now we're getting 30 amps because we're plugged into a 30 amp service. It'll sense that automatically. But just so you can see, whoops, let me do this again. Come on now. So you could also go from 15 to 30, 20, and like I said, you don't have to manually select it. It'll tell you what you're at, which is 30, okay? And then you refrigerator powered, AC, rear AC powered, front, so on and so forth. Okay, so the shower works like any other shower. You always want to run the roof vent with the shower to pull the humidity out. The toilet, I'm sure you've owned RVs before, but let's see if this will stay open with this chemical in here. The main thing is your flush pedal is right here, right? So directly below is your black tank, right? So you can't use it with a black tank dry. You have to have chemical and water in it. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You come in here and you'll dump one dose of chemical, whichever brand you use, one dose of chemical right in there. You'll step on the pedal because water is hooked up. It'll come swirling out. And you put about a gallon or so of water in there. Some people use more. Some people use less. It's up to you. But you have to have water and chemical in the toilet or the smell will be overwhelming and it can also get clogged up. So if you're going to stay at the campground for another week but you had to dump your tanks, then you would obviously repeat that same procedure. Okay, so anyway, we're just in the back here. You got a power vent up here, TV, you know, everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. Okay, remember I told you this is the power converter over here that converts AC to DC, and then the inverter inverts DC to AC. Okay, Alright, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting your seals and inspecting the roof. That's very, very important every 90 days. Okay? And right now this trailer is winterized. It has antifreeze in the system. Okay? Thank you.